Okay, so today we're going to do a reverse summer cut, and it's pre-bath. So the reason I'm doing him pre-bath is because he's got a lot of extra fur. I don't want to wash it and dry it. I'm mobile. I need to save time always, no matter. And so we're going to, what I'm starting out with is just a number 30. Number 30 guard blade. I could do a 10 if I wanted to, but I don't because I want to get through this fur, and a 30 will take me there a lot quicker. And I'm going to snap on a number 2 wall guard blade. Those are metal. Get metal guard blades. I like using guard blades a lot. I explain it in different videos why, but I like it because I keep a level and it gets the job done. I'm using a 30 instead of one of them raw exposed blades, so it won't work as fast. So I'm going to start at the back end. Luke, I'm going to start right back here on his feet. And you see he's got quite a mess going on there, so let me go the same direction first. And I'm going to show you during this too the difference between going the same direction and the opposite on his fur. I want to keep everything real level so I can hopefully get this done. That's a dew claw, by the way. I can feel it. I'm catching it, so I want to go around that and be real careful. I'm going to come up here on his front legs. He's bootied up because he's going to lay down on me otherwise. I want to get rid of all that. Start halfway up on those on the blade, guard blade, on the teeth of that. Start halfway up, and you see I want to get rid of all of this. I don't want to clean and dry this first, so keep it level to the ground, level to his skin. And then on the back here, I'm going to push his Achilles out. On the inside, I've got my thumb on the finger on the inside, pushing that Achilles out. Him, I'm going to shave his inner thighs, so I'm not going to worry about clipping those with this guard blade or doing a summer cut. That's what this is a summer cut. You see his fur's going different directions on me. I want to follow the grain of the fur. Reverse cuts are nice because you get she wants a close cut. You get a closer cut, but I also get an even cut with the reverse. I don't want to do too much here because I'm going to, he's got to have a sanitary cut still. I'm just going to come up the back side. I'm not sure what I'm missing because I'm not on your side of the camera, but I can always come back and get anything I miss. I just really want to give you an easy demonstration of a reverse summer cut, and I'm going to show you what happens when I go the same direction. So here I am up on his fur here, okay? No matter what I do to this fur, let's go the same direction. And it's got a nice look to it, it does. And you can do this if you choose to. That's got a really nice look to it, actually. But I tell you what, once he's washed and dried, that's not even. It's not even, and it's not close enough for her because he doesn't get groomed often enough. So I'm going to go ahead and go reverse on that too. And now I've evened that all out. And let's just say that she didn't want it that close. All I would do is up the ante on my blade. Here's a number 1. Okay, so there's your number 1 to get a puppy cut. If I wanted to do that, if she wanted it left a little longer and I do reverse cuts, then I just put on the puppy cut blade. And look, so I'll leave it longer with that. The only difference between your summer cut and your puppy cut, the only difference is the length. So let's go back to the summer though, because that's what we use on him. I wanted to show you little tidbits like that though, because I don't do videos on every single thing. Like I'm not going to do a puppy cut video, because that's just boring. Okay, so I'm going to come all through here, get him as best as I can under here. He's pretty heavy, and he's also pretty lazy. I'm going to give him that. He's just lazy. It's just the truth of it, Caesar. Caesar was a king, and he was probably lazy too, by the way. He probably was, because he didn't have to do anything. I'm going to spin him around like this. I want to get this other. I want to stay in a regular flow of things. So if I'm going to get that foot done, I might as well get this back foot done instead of doing one whole side of the body. But if that works for you, if you do things that way, just stick with whatever your rhythm is as much as you can. Of course, you got to change that with with situations and the dogs. Just all I'm doing is bringing this all down. I'm going to come back through here anyway with a 30, number 30 or number 10. So let's just start about halfway to up them those teeth again. That way I don't catch his nails. I avoid those nails. That's a big deal. Remember, he's got that back dew claw too, which is going to be a pain. So I'm not even going to mess with those inner thighs. Might as well save time on that, because as I told you already, I shaved that. I'm just going to come right up this back side. Look, you can do things the way you do them. I'm just showing you, if you're a beginner or you are a new groomer, you know, this helps to know this stuff, to see this stuff done the way groomers just do it, you know. There's nothing special here. This is just your simple average summer cut for Caesar, isn't it? He's a good boy too. He's just lazy. He's like, don't call me lazy. He doesn't want to be called lazy. He'd rather be called mature. That's what he said. He said he'd rather be called mature. Okay, so I'm just keeping it level again. The slower you move, the cleaner of a cut you're going to get. Clean hair is always easier to work with. Always, always. Of course it is. Clean hair is lovely to work with. Much lovelier, but I'm not going to bathe. You know how I feel about that. Make sure you're paying attention to the camera, Luke. I'm going to spin around. I need to get this back side, but he's going to laze out on me. So rather than deal with that for the camera, we're just going to start a little higher up here. That's all. I'm starting on the opposite side of the belt just because of him. So you'll find that. I think that's important to let you know that and to remind you that you really have to do what's best for the dog, so you change your way for that dog. It's just the way it is, you know. I don't run I don't know, one of those grooming places. I don't want to mention any names, but you know, I don't run PetSmart where you got to herd them through. I think those groomers, some of them said they groom. I mean, I talked to one gal. She said she grooms 30 dogs in a day, and that's her quota. She has to. So I'm going, wow, man, how do you do that, right? I mean, that's called fast moving. That's called just bring them in like a sheep and herd them through and bring it down. So I don't want to do that. So I just changed my perspective for the dog, whatever works for them. And the owners understand that too. I'm just coming up through here real quick. I'm moving a little faster with him. He's going to have to, most dogs on a pre-cut before a bath, you're going to have to do a post-cut too. I'm going to take all this out of here, as much as I can get before I unleash him. Go underneath of here a little bit. I'm going to shave most of this, so I don't want to do too much to it. Okay, I'm moving toward his front arms now. Let's see how he does. Like I said, groom him once every 3 months, if that. And so, again, flat. Now, if he were real paw petty, let me get this hair out of y'all's way. And mine. If he were real paw petty, I like to start low. You know, I want to start low. I want to get the job done right off the bat. But if he were paw petty and wouldn't let me start low, if he didn't like he's kind of being, then I go a little higher first. Start a little higher first. That kind of desensitizes that arm and makes this job go a lot easier. Now, you know, arms are a pain, I tell you that, because that fur just seems to take forever to come down. And so I could technically just put a shorter guard blade on here and do it that way. I could. Hang on, Caesar. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm going to change the wherever I'm holding him, right? I want him to know that I'm in control. He doesn't have to worry about that. Let's not even mess with that. Let's just not, because we're going to just shave it. Anywhere that I have areas that that aren't going to get seen, that get messy and littered, I just shave them. Hang on, buddy. I know he needs more support up front is what he needs. But I don't want to take him off of this either. So let me help him with this a little bit. We're just going to give him another lengthy piece here to help him out. Okay, so that'll help give him a little bit more support in the front here. And then we'll start again. Take a little break if you need to for him. Hang on, buddy. Oh, we getting it now. I'm going to use my body and move him where I need him get him to cooperate with me so we can get the job done. Oh, it's okay, Caeser. It's okay, buddy. Let me have that arm. See, we're going to go like that with it. We're going to just do it like that. You just got to talk to him, talk him through it, move him around, let him know he's important, that this matters a lot because, you know, it's uncomfortable for him and he'd rather not do any of this. Okay, so since I'm shaving those areas, let's not waste a lot of time there. Not that I'm not. Let me get down here below because we're not going to shave that. We're going to go ahead and take that now. Of course, I'm going to have to go over these arms again, no matter. Now, because I'm going to shave him under that arm, I'm not going to take a bunch of time under there because we're going to come back and shave it. Aren't we? That's right. We're no point wasting a bunch of time, see? Okay. So that arm's pretty much done for now. Let's move to the other arm. Probably be easier, Luke, if I move him like this. We move him a little. Thank you, Caeser. He's a good boy. I appreciate it. He's kind of strung out here, but gotta do what we gotta do. Now I'm starting on this arm. Remember, we already know he's a little paw petty, so might as well just go ahead and start a little higher. See, now we got that out of the way because we know what an issue that is, so don't want to waste a lot of time there. Oh, that would be something old he's got caught in there. I saw that on another part of his body too. And they've had some issues here in their home too, by the way, so that always affects how a dog acts, and sometimes. Anyway, let's go to this paw. We're going to start low. Move that hair up. Do whatever you need to do to that. Get it out of the way. It's alright, Caeser. It's okay, buddy. I'm going to talk him through this part. I'll appreciate it. Thank you. We're coming up this way. As close as I can get it. And back through again. And I got to get under this arm here. Can you come follow me, Luke, at all? The cameraman here, he's a super trooper, man, he is. That's my son, Luke. Hang on. Stay, stay, stay. Stay with me, okay. I'm going to lift that other arm, come up that direction, man. I want to get the job done however it's easiest. So, you know, feel free always to change the way you do things. You need to be, what do they call that? You know, well-rounded, well-versed. Okay, so let me take him off of this because I need his whole head. I'm going to move you this way, Caeser. Hang on, buddy. Let me get all that fur out of the way. Let me blow my nose real quick. Hang on, Caeser. Hang on, buddy. Here I come. Okay. Back in action here. If I need to, I can always pop this off. Clean it out a little bit. He had a little bit of hair in there. And it never hurts to go ahead and give it just a quick swift of Cool & Wine. Not that you're trying to keep the blade cool anymore because it's not touching his skin anyhow. But it does help it glide better. Okay, so here we go through here again. I'm going to take another look at this arm because I wasn't really thoroughly... This was the one I was working on, right? I hope so. I honestly don't remember anymore. Come around this way, buddy. Had to be this one. Because this one looking a little shabby, but look and see. Sometimes just stepping away from it for a second, you come back and find what you missed, or you're able to get something you couldn't. So I'm going to come straight up. This fur I like to go underneath, coming all the way up with it. I like to come back down. It smooths it out and it takes it even lower. Not lower than the rest of the fur, but it actually evens it out with the rest of the fur by doing that. Okay, we're coming up that way. We're coming around over this way, see? I'm going to go ahead and slide them all the way over so I can get all of this. Make sure I'm not in your way, Luke. Let me lift that arm again, see what we're missing under there. Now you know I'm going to shave the armpit, so here we come up this way, Caesar. Okay, I'm coming around like this for you. I might have done his back first, you know, and brought his head all the way up in a different situation. But, you know, we're trying to get all this on film for y'all. So I'm coming back through again. I'm just twisting. Coming back through. These are, you'll want cordless clippers. Always. Okay, so back, remember, through here. I said come up and back down. So that's all we're doing is evening everything out there. I can lift it and do the same thing. You know, I'm not able to put him in certain positions that I'd like to make this easier for me. So it's just the way it goes. I have to just keep coming back around and redoing. That's okay. Whatever's best for this little dude. Okay, I'm coming up through here. Pull that back. You'll get a cleaner cut. Gets rid of them wrinkles, all those wrinkles that form, you know, when their head's back. So we'll keep everything nice and tight. I'm bringing you this way, little pal. Hang on, Caesar. Okay, and keeping it flat, rolling with all the curves. Hang on, Caesar. We only got one shot. Do not miss your chance, Caesar. Upsy daisy, coming up here. Alright, so that's where I am to this point. Now let's go ahead and get his face done. Pull him back around. I'm looking at spots along the way too, because if you see something you missed, grab it. Don't wait and get it in the end. I'll come back to that later on the finish, on the completion, when I'm wrapping the whole job up and I get to do a whole once over. Get it now. You'll save yourself time, and you might even save that last once over. It's worth it for everybody, because once he gets his bath and stuff, he's ready to roll. He wants to go. You don't want to take a whole lot of time after that. He's kind of excited we're getting close to being done. I'm just going to come right on up through there. I'm going to hold his snout, hold his muzzle, so I can get everything I want through here. It just happens I'm doing it this way, that's all. I'm going to come both ways. I'm going to come back to all this though, because I didn't even mean to come there for. I didn't even mean to go here yet. I just did it by accident. But here we are. So let's do it. Okay, so on his head, she wants that short also. And so over we go. How you doing, Luke?
I'm great.
Okay. Now I'm holding his ear back out of the way, of course. But I'm going to go up over that ear just like that. This is just the way I'm doing him. Pull that ear back. This you'll do all the time anyway, some of this stuff. Pull that ear back, keep it out of the way. I'm going to shave up under here anyway. So I'm not going to mess with anything there yet. I'm just coming through back and forth a little bit. To get as close as I can here, I'm going to pull his skin back. See what I'm doing? Pulling his, from the back side of his jaw line, pulling that back nice and tight. So I can get a nice, through here, I'm going to keep pulling, right? I want to pull away from the direction I'm moving so I get a nice, clean cut and close. Most dogs don't like you around their face, so you want to be able to get that close quick. You alright? Luke, we're about to take a break. Just about to. Let me turn that fan on you a little bit more.
No, no, no.
Okay, I can also turn the... Okay. Never mind. Never mind. I'm going to go over the top of his ears. Just get that surface fur off. I want to go behind it. I can shave this area also, but I think I'm just going to do that today. Over this ear, let's do the same thing we just did. Over that ear, coming back up like that, holding that ear down flat, that lapel. Always go the same direction on a lapel, always. because you cut that ear otherwise. Almost a promise. Almost a promise. So again, I've got to be able to hold everything back again, right? Just like this. I have a good dog on the table. Okay, I'm fortunate for that because he could be really give me a hard time here and I'd have to use different methods. But we really got lucky with Caeser. We did. Hang on, buddy. So I'm going to have to come around this way and pull it back like that. And we're going to get closer in there anyway, but just to get it out of the way for now. Hang on, buddy. Coming straight. Oh, 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 pulling that eye away. Hang on, Caeser. Boy, he's just such a good boy. So clearly we got a lot of cleanup there to do. But I'm going to give Luke a little bit of a rest. That was my cameraman there, my son. Give him a little bit of a rest. Then we're going to come back with a number 10 and do the rest of this cleanup with that. Okay? Thank you. Okay, we're back to Caeser. Remember, we did the reverse summer cut already. There's still some cleanup on him I got to do. I can see that I'm coming under his ears, under his lapel here. I want to pull as much of that hair out of the way as I can, out of his ear as I can. Let's get most of that out there. Hold on now, stay still. My 10, hold it flat. Just use just the tips of the teeth is what I meant to say. So you're holding the tips of the teeth flat. I'm going to bring this lapel out and get rid of that fur that comes all the way to the edge. So he doesn't need that, it's hidden anyway. So I just have to take extra time and dry that. Right as we get rid of that. There's that. I'll come behind that ear and get a little bit going under his arm here. This is all with the 10 now. Because I'm coming back through on them paws with the 30. But I'm not doing that until after his bath. Let's get rid of that, whatever that is. I don't like it. Okay, I am going to do just this. Get that out of the way. Then I'm actually going to turn him around because I'm getting the front end done before I do the rear end, if you haven't noticed. And I'm doing that. Ouch, sorry, Caeser. I'm doing that because, you know, he's got some poop around his butt, right? Okay, so here we go with this one. I'm hoping he'll let me shave all that out. That would make my job a little quicker and easier. Here we go, just the tips of the teeth. Again, I've pulled as much hair out of there as I can. And I'm looking at this because I'm wondering, do I even need to pluck his ears right? So let's just go ahead because the other one looked really good. This one, all I'm going to do is just scissor that out because there's nothing in there that's deep-seated. He's got pretty clean, clear ears. We're just going to scissor that out and save him the discomfort of plucking. Okay, hang on, Caeser. I'm taking this off, but you got to behave, buddy. You just got to. Stay right there, bud. I'm looking at this already. I didn't take that down enough, so I'm just going to come through with my 10 real quick and just skim the surface of that. Okay, let's get that lapel now like we did on the other ear. Right to the edge. Just to the edge. Get rid of all that unnecessary fur. Let's see if he'll let me. Did I get under his arm yet? No, let's get that. Let's get the back of this paw. Remember, I still got to do his back end. All I'm doing is just skimming that off for now. That's it. Because I want to clean his paws and everything first. Come on over here, buddy. Hopefully he'll let me do this. If not, I'll have to use scissors. But he is. So all I'm doing is taking just the teeth, just the tips. That's how you avoid injuries. Stay. Coming back through this one. Doing the same thing. I'm hoping you can see all this. Okay, stay. We want to show the folks at home how they can do this real easily. Alright. Hang on, though, buddy. Hang on. Let's do that a little bit there I'm not happy with. Now, I'm going to have to round him out, and I don't want to do that right now because he hasn't been washed or dried. Hang on a minute, bud. All I want is stay. All I want to do is take some of that off. That's all I want to do. Well, it ain't our final. So it looks a little shabby right now, but I tell you, I'm not worried about that yet. We're going to go around to his rear end real quick. I'm spinning you around again. I'm so sorry, Caeser. He's not used to being videoed, he's used to being relaxed. Sorry, this is going to get a little yucky. I'm going to cool my 10 down real quick. It's not hot, but here's your 5-in-1 cool spray, right? All this stuff is compatible with everything except for, I think, Oster. Everything, they got their own special stuff, I think. Anyway, all I'm doing is just, I'm taking this end of the fur off. You see all that matted crap that he doesn't need? Of course, I'm going to have to tend to this tail a little differently for him to keep it. But when we get there, I'll show you that part too. Keeping everything nice and flat. Get rid of all that crap there. I'm just taking it down a little. See, I'm just taking it down a little at a time. Little. Gonna go under here. Remember I told you I want to get rid of all that. He doesn't need it. I'm taking just the tips of my 10. Coming down, getting rid of it all. This isn't gonna make any difference for him. I'm gonna spin him around, Luke. I gotta get the other side and do the same thing. Sorry, buddy. I gotta do it all. And then I'll tell you what I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this paws, too. Come back up through there. I'll probably have to do the same thing on that leg over there. Just, you know, skimming the surface here, taking it all the way down. And there's 2 ways I can get under here for his sanitary on his belly. I'm going to try to lift him. Let's see how that goes. Hey, it's going kind of. If I can lift him, that's great. If I can't, I got to turn him around the other way, which I'm probably going to have to do. Hang on, pal. You want to get all that out of there. Be careful, because you can come in with that and actually cut that penis right there. So you want to be careful of stuff. He's having a hard time, Angie. I'm going to bring him this way now. I just got to do whatever works for him, you know. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm coming up this way a little. Make sure I got everything in here. Okay, I'm going to come around his paws. All that, she doesn't care about that, and I don't either. And neither does he. So I don't want to take care of any of that underneath yet. Let's go ahead though and round that paw out and get rid of this fur, right? So I don't have to wash it and dry it. I'm going to spin him around again one more time, Luke. One more time, Caesar. One more time, buddy, but you got to get up. Yep. This is his style. And lay down on Angie. Okay, up. To get him up, I'm going to just lift his front leg. Coming back on here. What I'm going to do is go underneath the heel loop, like I did that other side, and get anything I missed. Oh, I guess I did that. Okay, so to get under here, and I'm having a hard time lifting him up that direction, I'm going to drop it all. I'm going to lift him up like this. But we're not. Hang on. Did it that way. Make sure we got everything. We didn't. See, he's just, I wanted to show you him because I did know he's real difficult to move around like that. And he can't get into every position we need him in. So I probably should have done it this way to begin with and saved myself, right? This paw, let's get rid of it. A lot of that, remember he's got a dew claw there. Alright, so that'll do it for now. We're going to get him in the bathtub and we'll be back. Thank you. So now Caesar's been washed, dried, and he doesn't need a post-cut. We just did that good of a job the first time around. But what I do want to show you on him are his paws, because I told you I do pads last. There's a good reason for that. Now they've been cleaned and everything else, and they're cleaned, and I scrubbed them out really good. Look at all that litter in there. And that's a heavy mat all the way down in there. There's 2 ways to get this. I'm using a 30 blade because a 30 is going to get in there a lot better than a 10 for me. I only will do that on paws. Let's see if we can't get that out though with the 30. You got to be careful here. Look at, he's a mess. He's a hot mess. Sorry, Caeser. I'm seeing what I can get off of this with that 30, or I got to come in with scissors. Hang on, buddy. And I might have to because this is uncomfortable for him. But I'm sure trying to get it like this. If I can get down in there deep enough underneath of that mat, I can get it. And that'll save me the scissor time, as long as he can tolerate this. And he's doing alright. So that's just one of his paws. They are all like that. I'm gonna just come up. Are you getting that okay, Luke?
Yeah.
Because I know my hand might be blocking it. So let's just get a scissors out on that real quick. Because it's that bad, you know. He gets that, he romps around in the yard and clearly quite a bit. And they're disabled here, so they just can't keep him clean, and they're, you know, on fixed income, so. And then all I'm going to do with the foot is just come around and round it out. So we're not even going to take clippers to his feet again. Remember, he's got a dew claw right here, so that's why that fur is sticking out a little more on me. Let me come around this way for you. Shit, I can't see anything there. I'm just going to clean up one side of him. We're going to get the rest of him here in a minute. Hold on, Caeser. Scoot over. Just scoot over and knock it off, please. Let's get this job done. I don't care which scissors I use here, folks. I just want to get this job done. So does he. But I definitely need to clean him up and make him look nice here. So I'm just coming around, rounding him out. I can use my blending shears also. That'll give him a nice clean finish there. When it comes to, though, you know, stuff that I want to just get it out of the way, if I want to blend it up, these thinning shears are great. But if I just want to get something out of the way, I'm going to go in and cut it out of there. So let's see how that leg looks so far. And my son is tired of holding this camera, so we're going to skip around a little bit. I'm going to stop on the legs because I can. Actually, I'm going to give him a... Hang on, though, Luke. Not yet. Let me clean this paw up proper. How was that? Let me just clean it up proper here, Caeser. Good little dog, you. Coming in there and just cleaning a little few things up. Remember his dew claw there, which I've pointed those out in the past to you to make sure you keep that away with your thumb or whatever, so that you don't accidentally clip that dew claw off. I've seen it happen to groomers. It's never happened to me, fortunately, but I've seen it happen to somebody else first. So it never happened to me. Because I've come real close once. So that's just that. Hang on. And then, of course, you know, if I comb him up and out of the way a little bit, because you might as well, because that's the best way. Or hit him with the dryer again, you know, move that fur around. So you can see, because once he goes inside and he's moving around, hairs are going to move around with him. And suddenly there's going to be stuff that we didn't see before that the owner will see. Hang on a minute, Caeser. So I'm just going to come through with my shears again and get all that out of there that's extra that I don't like. He doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want him to look seamless. Okay, so there's that whole leg. And then we're going to give Luke a break, and I'll come back and do this tail because it's pretty interesting, and there's some work to do on that, but I'm going to show you how you can shorten up your amount of work on that. Luke, go ahead and take... Luke, I'm burning up. No shit. Hang on, dude. I gotta open this down. Back to Caeser. We're gonna finish his face up. He's been bathed, dried, all that good stuff. We did one paw for you. I got a number 10 on here again. We're gonna see about cleaning this up. Stay there, Caeser, with a number 10 real quick. I want to come up here with the corners of my 10. Okay, look at that. Look at that, sees. We don't have to get his scissors around his eyes now, which is nice. Coming back through here again. Coming right down here, just cleaning some of that out for him. I'm going to come back through with some scissors, though, to clean it up with the shears. Hang on, Caeser. Oh, hang on, buddy. You're doing so great. I'm proud of you. Really super duper 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 proud of you. Hang on. We're going to get some shears out now. We're going to use blenders because I really want some smooth lines on him. Smooth lines on him. Here, come down this way, Luke. Coming down this way on little Caeser. Pizza, pizza. Hang on, buddy. I like to get all that away because it's just not necessary, you know, and it gets yucky on them and it gets smelly. And you know, if you like to smooch faces, nobody wants to smell that. The nice thing about thinning shears, blending shears, call them what you want. You can start out on the outside of that cut and work your way into exactly where you want it, and you can round it out and very nicely. Always watch his tongue there. I like to get rid of that. That's just gross stuff too. It just collects up food and debris and it stinks. And Shih Tzus are named appropriately. Very appropriately if you get near their face after a minute. Smell a little bit like Shih Tzu. Okay, I'm going to bring that in just a little more. I don't want to get in the camera's way here, Luke. I'm doing my very best with not having the angles I need. Sorry, let me get my arm out of the way. Stay there, Caeser. Come on, we're almost done, buddy. I'm just coming up. You see I accidentally came in here. Brought that down a little close by accident. So now I've got to fix my blender. Well, fix my blender, man. You know, we don't all have perfect days, do we, Caeser? So you see what I don't like. I'm sure you're seeing it right there, man. I don't like that. So I'm bringing it in so I can blend stuff out here real quick. I'm just following him around. Seriously, it's ridiculous. Let me see about this side over here. He's still not really blended well like I want him. Okay, we're bringing it in little by little. We're fixing you, Caeser, fixing you. Fixing any kind of damage, buddy. So I think he's looking all right there. Luke, if you see anything there that I don't, please let me know. I'm trimming up the ears. I'm going to hold his lobe up. I can see it now. I can see that lapel coming straight through, bringing a straight line. Yeah, I'm not a fan on ears because I'm really crappy at them. I just have always been, and I say it, and so it makes it so every time. But the best way I know to do ears is, like, I'd rather not even touch the fronts. Most of the time I don't, if I can help it. But I noticed that they're looking a little bit out of place if I don't, so the way I've been doing it just isn't really kind of cutting it anymore. I'm going to come back around to this side. I like to see it from this direction, but if I couldn't, then I'd have to just hold my fingers there to guide me. But I can actually see through his fur there, so but now I can't. I'm going to hold that lapel again. And then this side, I'm just going to flip it up and come right on down. That's really all I'm going to do there. And let's see how that looks. So you always want to check certain areas like above the ear. Once they're done, I like to fluff it all up, right? Because they're not in there combing that hair. She's not in there combing his hair. She's going like this. And so combing it works too, but in his case I'm just fluffing. Fluff it. Because that's what we feel like doing. Everybody's different. Let's get rid of that crap.
Oh, damn it.
Alright, so are you alright?
Yeah, his breath.
His breath? He doesn't appreciate that comment at all. He says, I like my breath just fine. So there's his face, that's all done. Now let's look at his tail, Luke. Because his tail's a freaking mess. Go ahead and take a break, Luke, for about 30 seconds. Right on. Okay, so his tail, let's look at his tail. This is Caeser finishing. Everything's done on Caeser now except for his tail. We're doing this in different segments. Look at this tail. You already know what I'm up against. Come on, man. You think, I don't want to fight with that. I don't want to fight with that. I don't want to fight with that. And they want to keep his tail. So, solution. I call this a Freddy Krueger. It's not called that. It's a mat buster or something like that. You can find it, though. You can find it in any dog mag and all the dog stuff. So, I want to be careful of his bone. I don't use this all the time because it does tear through hair, absolutely. With razor sharp blades. And I mean razor sharp. You catch that tail or your finger, you will be bleeding, and it's painful. Okay, and so I'm gonna. I want to get this through at the bone of that tail. The bone of that tail. You saw what I was doing with that comb a minute ago. I'm going to show you what happens now after using this guy. And there's some other products out there, I guess, that do the same thing, you know. I just happened to come across this, and I was able to save myself a lot of time on tails when I found this particular. I'm just coming from the opposite side now, and I'm watching it come through like you can too. Watch out for the tip of that tail. That's what another groomer got caught in her teeth. That tip of that tail she did. Man, she was regretting that. Okay, I'm coming through to this side now. You saw we didn't put him through any kind of torture, anything. And look what we're going to be able to do with this comb now. And now this is what I got out of his tail, which is dead fur, clearly. Well, I mean, fur's dead. Anyway, I just want to catch this and show you what that thing does. It's called a... Yeah, I'm going to do a walk around on my mobile, like real quick here. And I'm going to name every product on here. I'll actually make a list so I know the names of the stuff. Because, you know, once I've been grooming and bought the stuff, I don't pay any attention to what I'm using. So I can either fancy his tail up 2 different ways. Since we're going to take some down a bit, let's go ahead and use some straight shears. I'm just going to pull it straight out. And taking off dead ends here. And then just to clean it up all the way around, I'm going to use my thinners because I want to take all that dead stuff off there and make his tail look real pretty. Alright, so we're just blending it up, just taking any of that fried end stuff looking dead ends, I guess, but you know, dogs don't really get those. I don't know. So that's really all I'm doing is, you see I'm just fancying up his tail a little bit, getting the frizzies off. So we're just going right across the top of it, taking that frizzy stuff off, right over here on this side too, Luke. I'm just going to take the frizzy stuff out on the outside of it off. Around just see, I can see the frizzies. I don't like them. They're wiry looking. Okay. My son is about to wrap it up. So, this is the final. I saw a hair I didn't like. Alright, Caesar, how you feeling, buddy? Caesar is finished. He wants to thank you for your love and support, for watching him. We have to go through his 3-month ritual. He appreciates that. Thank you so much.